Hello everyone, it's me Joy. For today's video, I'm going to share with you kung ano yung mga requirements na pinasa ko nung nag-apply ako ng temporary residency do sa Russia. Mga list ng mga requirements na pinasa ko is una is passport. Kailangan yung passport is nakatranslate into Russian and ipapanotarize. So take note lang na yung translation ng passport kailangan lahat ng nakalagay sa every pages including watermark, stamp, and stickers, dapat naka-translate yon. Second is valid Russian visa. Third is marriage certificate. Since kinasal kami ng asawa ko sa Armenia, wala kaming original copy ng marriage certificate. Yung binigay nila sa amin is electronic copy. Pinaprint namin. And then, pina-apostille, pina-translate into Russian, and pina-notarize. Pagdating dito sa Moscow, inulit ko yung translation nun into from Armenian to Russian, tapos pinanotarize ko. Fourth is NBI clearance. So, sa NBI clearance naman is dapat valid siya for 3 months from the date of issue. Yung NBI clearance dapat naka-apostilled, translated into English to Russian translation, naka-notarize, and apostilled. So, make sure lang na yung NBI mo, NBI details is same sa passport. Take note that your NBI clearance naka-attach doon sa may translation. Hindi yung copy lang ng NBI yung nakalagay doon sa translation kasi ito yung mali ko dati. Tinanong kasi ako bakit daw hindi naka-attach yung original NBI ko doon sa translation ng NBI ko. Kaya pinaulit namin doon, tinanggal yung stitches noon, tapos inattach yung original doon sa translation. Number 5 is dalawang copy ng application form. Dapat ang pag-print nun is back to back. And number 6 is Russian language certificate. After 3 days ko nakuha yung Russian certificate ko. Bali, yung part ng exam is history, grammar, written, speaking. Merong part doon sa exam na nakaharap ka sa camera, tapos merong ipapabasa sa'yo and tanungin ka nila like, what's the purpose of your examination? You have to introduce yourself, your age, the place where you stay. Basic questions lang naman. Pero you have to answer it in Russian. Medical certificate. Nung time na nagpa-medical ako, I was pregnant with Julia. I think I was 8 months. So, hindi kasama sa test ko yung tuberculosis, COVID test, HIV, and I think blood test na para sa absence of drugs addiction, parang ganun. And then, husband passport. Kailangan yung original na passport. Yung biometric page noon, registration of permanent residence niya na page. Kailangan naka-print out din yun. Number 9 is original copy of notice of arrival of a foreign citizen. Yun yung registration na ginagawa natin within 7 days when we arrive in Russia. Number 10 is yung migration card. And then number 11 is receipt of payment fee. Yung binayaran ko no, that time was 1,600 rubles. 4 copies of photo passport size. Ang size ng photos is 35 by 45. Dapat yung background is white. I prepared also additional documents which is yung pregnancy certificate ko. Nag-apply na ako ng SNILS after ilang months pagdating ko dito sa Russia. Nowadays, I think SNILS is mandatory na para sa lahat ng mga foreigners. Hindi ka makakapag-purchase ng SIM card kung wala kang SNILS and Gususlugi account. So, number 3 is original and copy of state registry of real estate for an apartment at the applicant's place of registration. Yan yung document ng apartment kung saan ka nakatira. Number 5 is power of attorney. So, since yung kasama ko nag-apply is yung my father-in-law, nakasaad doon sa power of attorney that I and my husband are allowing my father-in-law to assist me with my application procedures. Kailangan yun ipanotarize din. Yung application process doon, it takes 3 to 6 months. But usually, within 3 to 4 months, ma-release na rin yung result. Minsan kasi, alam nyo guys, I've been to Sakharovo many times kasi they always see a new mistake sa application form or something kulang sa documents ko. That's why ilang beses ako pabalik-balik kasi every time na puntahan ako doon, meron silang bagong mistake na nakita. So, nakakalungkot na nakakaubos ng pasensya kasi pupunta ka doon ng maaga tapos uuwi ka na ng gabi like 9 PM kasi sobrang tagal ng pila doon, 6 to 8 hours bago ka matapos. Tapos at the end, mare-reject yung application mo or may makitang mali. Kaya uulitin mo ulit. Okey lang sana kung yung application form yung may mali kasi you can edit tapos ipe-print tapos babalik ka doon sa officer, maling window ka pumunta. So, ire-recheck nila tapos kung a-accept nila, eh, di bibigyan ka nila nung parang notice na your application is, processing already. Time ko, I was able to do, fingerprints tapos nagpirma lang ako doon and stuff. Pero I think nowadays, iba na. Baka meron na kasing binibigay na green card which is yun yung biometrics, yung dactyloscopy. So, parang once na nagawa mo yun, hindi mo na kailangan ulitin. Pinaka-last na balik ko, ang sabi, bakit daw wala akong certificate of use of surname. Yun yung explanation na galing sa Philippine Embassy na Mary Joy, tsaka si ganito, isang tao. Pero yung explanation ko naman dun sa officer is I didn't change my last name sa lahat ng mga documents ko. Same yung details. Bakit nyo ako hahanapan nun? Ayaw ka na sana nilang tatanggapin pero tinanggap din nila. Kaya ang masuggest ko lang is do it as early as long as you have time. Pag na-reject ng unang beses, balik agad, apply another time. When is the earliest available slots? Para at least matapos na ba? Kasi kung papatagalin mo na para mawawalan ka na ng gana sa pag-apply, kasi ulit-ulit ba? So, at the end of the day, once na ma-accept na yung application mo, it's worth lahat ng pagod mo, lahat ng iyak, frustration mo, it's worth it. So, good luck sa inyo.